Happy Pride Month. Hope your pride has been good so far. Good morning. Just a regular good morning to all the straights. And that is coming from myself, who is also one of you. But a very special good morning and happy Pride Month to all my favorite LGBT people. My lovely, lovely friends of the LGBT community. You are loved and you are cherished. This month we honor you. Though we really honor you all the time. I don't know what accent this is. Please don't take offense to it. It's something. And I'll stop doing it now. Okay. Good morning to my one viewer. How are we this morning? Or evening or afternoon? Whatever time zone you happen to be in. Did I get any sleep last night? No, of course not. I never do. I'm a nocturnal being. Am I probably going to go to bed in a matter of hours? Yes. Will I sleep most of this fine day? Yes. That's fine. I have no idea what I'm going to be working on today. All I know is I felt like streaming, so I took advantage of it. So we here, we ready, we here, and we queer. We. I don't count. I shouldn't say that. But, in case you are watching or listening, kisses. In a platonic way, at least for me. I guess you can take it any way you want. If you take it in a non-platonic way, I won't be offended. Just want you to be happy. I need to actually do the right animation. I drink out of my forehead. Don't worry about it. All right. I'm thinking I'm gonna jump into a sprint and see what happens. I have a feeling most of my lovely viewer friends are still asleep, but that's okay. We don't need to have everything working perfectly all together right at this moment. I miss plenty of their streams, so this is just fair. I think I'll take a sprint to just sort of work out what it is I want to write this day, because it's just about grabbing those words. It's just about wrangling those words into submission, whatever they are. And there's nothing wrong with that, because it is a little bit of a slow day. It's been a slow week. I've gotten some writing done, not a whole lot, but I did RP last night, so I got plenty of writing done with that. And I did journal a little bit, so I've been doing some writing. But have I been writing the thing that I want to write for me? No. So, let's get into it, shall we? 15 minutes. Where's my timer? I don't like where that's placed. That's a little better. Alright, I usually set myself a 2,000 word limit because that seems fine. Okay. Alright, 15 minutes just to get warmed up. No other needs no other expectations. Also, don't forget to save your work in whatever form that takes. Better yet, save it in more than one place. Save it in multiple ways. With the advent of AI stealing everything from the internet, maybe it's worth getting a couple flash drives. Plug one in and just drag and drop your lovely work onto that flash drive. So if push comes to shove, you got it. Yeah? All right. If we are set, I shall begin the timer. Ready, set, go. I hear ya. I hear ya. Just trying to finish a thought. Just trying to finish a stinking thought. Alright. That was one. One down. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm just sorting through my thoughts. This is like actually nothing. Guatemala. Echo Hellion. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the frog leg. That's incredible. I will take that frog leg and add it to the cauldron. Oh, the frog leg is a second one. Thank you. At least, oh, no, I didn't do that right. Is this the Lion King? And some tea leaves. I'm sorry, I didn't see the tea leaves right away. Thank you so much for the tea leaves as well. Now that can be 5. Oops, not 8, 5. Thank you, thank you. We add that to the cauldron. I'm gonna add some of my own. I have about, what do I got? 428. I'm gonna just start with an acorn because that's easy. Yes, I can redeem my word count for items. Thank you, thank you. I have to make this interesting somehow. How are we this fine morning? Trex Hunter 0, thank you for the frog leg. And Echo Hellion, good morning. I love the... I can't quite do it with my model, but the head going on. I hope you are having a wonderful day so far. I hope if you have to do anything today that it just goes really super well and easy. That you have just kind of a laid back Sunday. Just kind of felt like streaming. I kind of felt like it all weekend, but didn't find a good time. And then I was just kind of sitting around and went, let's just do it. Let's just do it. I'm trying to think, what should I do when we get to, I don't know, a certain number? Ooh, lovely. I didn't know malls were still open. That's true. Malls are open. It's true. I do go to the mall maybe once a year. I almost went recently because the only Barnes & Noble in my general area is in a mall. So I almost went to Barnes & Noble. I didn't have time. In the end, I did not have time. Because I tend to be a nocturnal creature. Sometimes my favorite businesses close before I'm available. So my meeting went a little late, and then by the time I was getting out of that meeting, it would have been too late, and the store would have been closed. So I didn't go, but I am excited to go to Barnes & Noble when I get the chance, hopefully soon. I'm gonna slowly but surely be getting a little more free time now that the summer's come in. Anyone in, any type of academia or school knows about that. After the movie, I'm planning on working on the main villain for my web novel. Love that. Love that. Villains are fun, aren't they? Like, I got some really good, like, villain advice. Or I got, like, prompts that I really liked for villains, like, a couple years ago. And I ended up sharing them on my YouTube. Because I did, like, this, like, series. I'm wondering if I'll do something like that again. I did one prompt every day for the month of July. A couple years ago, and I put out writing prompts that I had gotten over the years, and a couple of them were about villains specifically. And one that I liked, let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Let's go to YouTube. Now, I will admit, I kind of wish I had, like, paid closer attention, I guess, with some of these. They kind of hit a little late, like I do them and I'm like, I really like that, and then later on I'm like, oh, I should have taken my own advice. I think some of these... What influences your villain?
What influences your villains? Do they have a favorite, mentor, or book? What and who helped them shape their current worldview? And what do those influences have in common with what your hero is going through?
The ones I really like about the villain prompts are how the hero and the villain have similarities. Like, where's the intersectionalities between your hero and your villain, and how can you play on that? Like, is the only thing that's different between your villain and your hero one decision or one life path? Like, if they had gone the same way, would they have turned out the same? Like, what is the defining feature that makes your villain different from you? Like, they can be vastly different. They can be completely different people. But, like, how are they similar? And then play with that idea. I always thought that was a really cool, like, thought. Because I didn't used to think that way. I thought that villains had to be completely, like, outsiders to everything. Villains tend to be more interesting for me, especially in wrestling in my case. Yeah, I don't follow wrestling very closely, but I imagine the villains are probably the most, like, engaging. Like, I would imagine that villains or, like, typical, like, quote unquote villains in wrestling tend to have maybe a wider fan base or a more, like, unique fan base. I guess I don't know enough. I don't know enough to actually add to that conversation, but that seems fun.
What kinds of henchmen or minions does your villain have at their disposal? How many layers do they hide behind, and how can they remain hidden from the hero and the readers?
This one was more of like a, how do you introduce your villain? Who do you see first? Do you see the minions? Do you see the dark looming castle? I mean, I guess it depends on what genre you're writing. But, like, how do you introduce a villain? How does a villain step onto the stage? And sometimes the scarier villains are the ones that aren't right out in front, like, readily in front. You know, like, I keep thinking about, small spoilers for Game of Thrones, the show, if you care. The way they introduce Ramsay Snow as a potential ally to Theon at first, for, like, the majority of an episode, he's just playing, like, this random side character who seems like he's going to help Theon escape the Dreadfort. And then is the switcheroo at the end of he was actually the architect of the whole thing and just brought him back, you know, kind of brought the loop around and brought Theon back to the Dreadfort for more torture. And then he spends the rest of the season just torturing Theon into complete submission. Like, not only is that, like, a great way to introduce an insidious character, but it tells you a lot about how Ramsay works as a character. Like, what are his MO? Like, what's his MO when it comes to being a villain? Like, he's tricky. He will mislead you. He will take advantage of your weakness. He'll take advantage of your trust, your kindness. Like, and you don't really get to know him. It kind of keeps him obscure, you know, for a while. So that was kind of where that one came from. Has my timer gone off yet? Oh, just about 40 seconds.
What would your character? What kinds? Based on the state of your...
I wonder... There was one other one about villains and heroes. At least from what I remember. I had a hard time... Yeah, it's this one. I had a hard time editing this one because YouTube shorts for some reason have much, like, narrower aspect ratio. Like, they don't let, my videos are always too wide. So it looks kind of janky.
What would it take to make your hero and
There it
villain
is.
get along? A catastrophe? A conversation? A bribe? What is the limit of their antagonistic relationship?
And that one's more of just like maybe the redeemable antagonist or the redeemable villain. Like, what's the limit? You know, how far is this villain willing to go for evil or for antagonizing the hero? You know, what would it take to get them to get along? You know, that's like a lot of enemies to lovers in romance, is like, obviously there's attraction that plays into that, but like also the whole thing behind that is your love interest is also your antagonist. They live to just antagonize you, and it's a mutual relationship. So there's obviously like asking what are the limits of that, if there are limits. I wonder if there was ever written like a purely enemies to lovers story that, no, it wouldn't be an enemies to lovers story if they didn't actually get together. It would defeat the purpose of the title. Anyway, I'm just blathering on. Let's do another sprint and see what else we can get going so that we don't get too comfortable, too distracted. I might give myself one rock because I struggle sometimes to stay on task. And that's what the rocks are. That's okay though. All right, back into it for 15 minutes and then we will chit chat again. Here we go. Well, I'm excited for your day ahead of you, Echo. I hope your movie is good. And the villain, the developing of the villain, I was just writing about. No worries. I'm grateful to be on in the background. I'll try not to interrupt your movie. drink without glitching. Oh, perfect. Perfect. I had just finished what I was doing, and I wasn't sure what to do next. I don't want 5 minutes. I want 10. I said 10. All right. I was going to grab some notes that I had started taking, and now, I'll save that for the next sprint. I have a little bit of research to do. Not gonna lie, I'm thinking about blogs and possible video content for YouTube. I'm not a very good or very big content creator. I guess I technically have done it, but I'm not very good at it. So I'm sort of brainstorming what that might look like. Ooh, I'm sitting at what now? 8:22. I think I'll do a tea leaf? I think I'll do a tea leaf for myself right quick, because why not? Tea leaf is at the top, yes? Yes. And I've been doing some research on a topic that I might want to do written stuff about, but I'm still kind of just thinking about it really nebulously. Not very big, not very grand, just it's very big picture. And sometimes I get frustrated with myself when I have to think like that, because I like to just do it all in one sitting and have it be done. But I think there's a certain reward in, having a time to just sit down and think through things sequentially and slowly, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with that. And yes, I do have books that I need to write, and I haven't. Why do you ask? I'm actually going to probably quickly save what I have, where I know I'll be able to find it again. Let's see. Where would I put this? I don't know. Reading, studying. Maybe I don't have it. Sorry, I know you can't see anything that I'm doing. That's not really important. I'll do this. I mean, I want to have that, but for now, I'll do this. Oh wait, I'm doing the wrong place. That's why I'm struggling. I'm not in the right area. I need to go to the right area, which is probably back here. Is it? Huh. Oh, right there. Have to save this right quick. Save your work. Always save it. I have a couple of shorts, not shorts, they're TikToks technically, that I had done put on TikTok but not on YouTube Shorts. And I'm wondering, usually I would put them on both, but I only did TikTok. Should I put them on YouTube Shorts? I don't know. Also, I'm a little irritated that I don't have my skull in the background of this version, because seasons change and so does my background. So there's supposed to be a skull on the table. He'll appear if you summon him, but usually he'd be sitting right over here. I'm a little annoyed that I didn't think about that before. At least I think maybe he is in here somewhere. Nope, doesn't look like it. Oh, I gave myself head pats. What else is going on in this day? What is going on this day? I did a whole series about Make-A-Wish Foundation, which is still live, by the way. You can still find the Make-A-Wish Foundation. You don't have to. It will be there for a little while. What else do I got in this? I got my Ko-fi, I got my Twitch, got my website. And the podcast. I really don't know what'll become of that. You know? I don't actually know if that's ever going to be an official thing. I mean, it was fun while it lasted. I did do a whole episode that got corrupted and I couldn't post it because I couldn't get it to finish exporting. Which is really disappointing because it was a good one. And I did work hard on it. But yeah, that happened. I guess I've tried so many different things that I kind of lose track of what I'm supposed to do. I have this thing where I get worried about something I really care about, which is writing my book. And then instead of doing and facing the thing that worries me, I do a bunch of side projects and distract myself until I can't make heads or tails of what's going on anymore. So that's what all this junk is. Not that I don't enjoy doing this stuff. This stuff's fun. But it's like, it is really just to distract from the fact that I'm not writing my book, which I really should be doing today. I think in this next sprint, I'll see if I can tip back into it. I am going to have to look at my old draft though, to figure out where to start. I guess I could do a little bit of plotting. Just see what happens. Do the scary thing and face my demons. It's the story of my life. I just never just look it in the face, do I? I don't know if anyone can relate to that. Just mostly going in feeling lost. But maybe it's not all that complicated. I think I'll get my feet wet a little bit with that one. I won't jump in headlong, but I will attempt to get back into it, because there's nothing for it. There's nothing else for it. Just gotta stick with it. This is me hyping myself up. It's not working. My tea is cold. Meh. I don't know how long I'm supposed to go today. When would be a good time? When would be a good time to stop? Well, it's 8 now. Oh, I was gonna grab my notes. That's right. I'll use this sprint to look over my notes and then see if I can get my feet wet when it comes to the other project. It'll be kind of more of a organizational 15 minutes and less of a drafting or writing 15 minutes. And I give myself permission to do that because the Pomodoro thing didn't work. It still has me on 1, which I don't appreciate. I don't think I hit the right button, that's why. All right. We will jump back in for another 15 minutes, and this will just be me organizing my thoughts. Ready, steady, grab my notes though, so I gotta stand up. They're somewhere around here. Here they are. I had recently organized my desktop, so thankfully I got a lot of stuff. Sorry, I'm reading notes. Must be glitching out bad. There we go. Oh, that's not... Yes. I don't want work time. I want break time. Silly. Alright. I'm mostly taking notes that I have written down and I'm putting them in text form so that they're in two places so that I can start working on an essay or a script. I'm not sure which. We shall see. Mostly have them written down. I don't have a whole lot written so far. So that took longer than I thought, but that's fine. We are sitting at 1177. We'll be generous and give ourselves a hefty reward of a crow feather. Yes. Crow feather. So far, so good. What was I looking at? I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust. Could scroll on Tumblr for a little bit. No. Oh, except I'm not signed in. Oopsie. Let's go to Wednesday season 2 is already launched. Can you believe that spilled ink has been around for a year? That's kind of stupid. That's how that works. Okay, let's see. Was there something that I had meant to watch? I don't know. These have been kind of funny.
Love it. Burger King and stuff. Good choice, yeah. But I kind of wanted like bougie fast food. Okay, like what? Olive Garden.
Obviously, there's the white friend.
What'd you say? I was just saying, could we not do Olive Garden? It ain't no coincidence that you said no to Olive Garden. Why would you bring this sort of tingle? You can admit it now. You can get on at my house. There's nothing for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
By the way, I'm totally someday doing a watch party of this movie on the Discord. If you want to go to Discord, you can subscribe to my author newsletter and there's an invite in that. And I am working on a newsletter for next month.
Good choice, yeah. But I kind of wanted like
Those are fucking funny. I love those.
Like what? Olive Garden.
Olive Garden. So funny. What video essays we got? Mindhunter. Oh my god, is that... I did not put together that is the actor who plays King George in Hamilton. That's crazy. Vampires are a recession indicator. Yeah, I've seen that before. Ugh. Ugh, scary. Love, lust, disaster. Capitalism. True Blood. Exploring Ted Nivison's deranged For You page URL. Patriarchy according to Barbie. V for Vendetta has aged disturbingly well. What isn't friendship? Ooh, that looks interesting. Not gonna lie. Overt nonsense versus subtle genius. Yeah, the moment they mentioned they were remaking Lilo and Stitch, I was already checked out because Lilo and Stitch is already perfect. You can't improve on it, and this just proves that I was right. You don't touch Lilo and Stitch. It's already beautiful. I'm sorry, somebody's chatting. All hail King George. The ending was bad, apparently. I think they just didn't agree on sticking to the same theme for the original movie, and they tried to fit in some sort of new theme. But it completely flies in the face of the original movie. I mean, it may just be us old head purists of wanting the original to be the best, but it kind of sucks that the new one just sort of like wants to be its own beast in the sense of its opposite. And it's not even like a deconstructed type. It's not even like in a thoughtful way. It's in a like a, oh, actually Ohana doesn't mean family and family means we'll leave everyone behind, which is like so depressing and sad. Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that. The Green Knight, my goodness, is not enough. Listen, okay, the Green Knight had its issues for sure, but this guy's voice is impeccable, and I will... anything he voices in, I will eat it up, because this guy has just a wonderful voice. Sorry, I'm so boring right now. I can't think of what I want to talk about. Ooh, yes. Okay, that's adding that to the list of watch later, because I may or may not be working on something about this very show right here. And when something new pops up 2 weeks ago, I definitely want to see what they're saying, because I don't know that I'm actually going to be able to add all that much to, like, the video essay conversations that are available, but I definitely want to try my hand at it. And I'm kind of also thinking that any video essay I might make is going to be on the shorter side, so I don't need to say much. I just need to narrow it down. Stop chasing original ideas. Yeah, we don't want to see that. Oh my god, this bothered me so much. One of my very good friends loves Stranger Things and is constantly being like, when's the new season coming out? As if I know, but he just won't shut up about it. And this bothered me, how they decided to make an homage to belligerent romance from the 80s and 90s movies and put it on Hopper, like, as a character trope. That was annoying. Because, ugh. Like, ugh. It made me upset. Yup, I cry every time. Is this about... Is this about, Oh man, I'm blanking hard. You know the movie. Knight's Tale. A Knight's Tale. Duh. Have you guys seen The Pit? When your show writer's characters are simply better. I mean, this seems interesting. I don't know if it's going to be spoilery, but I'm always interested about how to make characters better. Yeah. This is the kind of stuff that pops up in my YouTube feed. And it just depends on if your story sucks if you can't remember this question. Yes. Let's go. So many good video essays, so little time. I should send this to Sean. A very biased opinions on how to write Batman. It's bigger than Diddy. It always is, isn't it? This is a lot about filmmaking and like other things, but I feel like I learn a lot. And I'm mostly just like a sucker for this kind of discourse and information. You know? Well, I see Captain Hector Barbosa. I instantly like. Barbosa's incredible. Honestly, those movies really something special. I really think the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, they sort of stood in a league of their own in a long time. I don't think anyone's really come close to creating something quite as special as those. And Barbosa's a big part of that. Anyway, let's do another. And then I don't know how much longer I'll go. I probably won't go much longer. I'll dip my toes into my book, I suppose. Mostly every time, this is my issue, mostly every time I get into my book, even though I've done extensive plotting and rewriting and all that, I'm just kind of at this point where I get into it and I immediately get intimidated. I think I'm thinking too big picture when I need to just like pick a lane and go. And I guess I may be holding myself to too high a standard. So I think I just need to face it and see if anything comes of it. All right, I'm gonna finish up these notes and sort of switch gears into my book and see what happens. Wish me luck. Ready, set, go. this is the part that scares me. Is that what I wanted? Yeah, okay. I think this is what I wanted. Oh my god, just open. Yeah, okay. So we have permission not to go there. Okay. I keep giving myself advice not to start from the beginning. What about here? Okay, where did I? Excuse me. Okay. Not gonna lie. I'm really not loving my cause and effect for this story. No, I didn't get into writing it because I don't know where to start. I guess I can start anywhere, but I was kind of pointing out different places in the story I could start and try to find... Oh yeah, good evening. I mean morning. Good to see you, terrible novelist. It's been a while. Yeah, I'm surprised too. Oh, I just don't know. I get all caught up in like, where do I start? Where do I start? And I'm trying to think of all these parts in the book that are all exciting. And I'm like, start somewhere exciting. And then I'm like, what if I do? I know. But that's irrelevant. I'm not really drafting anything today. I'm mostly writing down notes and thoughts about my intentions, which is just a big waste of time. But I'm still getting words. So basically, I had to go back into my drafts and look at notes that I left myself and like editing notes. And I ran into a couple of them saying, don't write this first. Go to the middle of the book and work yourself backwards. Don't worry about these parts. You'll get to them eventually. So I'm going to try to challenge myself to jump into the middle. And work out the middle a little bit. Sometimes it is, but when you get the characters talking to each other is then you make the most progress. It's true, except in this case, I have a very limited cast and they are all, yeah, I guess that's true. Maybe what I should do is I shouldn't write the main character point of view. I should there's different things I could be writing. I could be writing backstory. Now, believe me, that's not a waste because the backstory is in the book in the form of flashbacks. I have a handful of flashback scenes I want in the book. So I could do that. And I've kind of done a little bit of that already. I think I just need to get myself in the zone. What I really need to do, this is what actually needs to happen, is I need to get myself in the zone. Just marry myself to this one chapter, this one idea. I'm just going to stick with this as long as I can and get as much of this done as I can. And then once I'm kind of in the zone, then start the stream. Start the stream mid-writing session. Because it's hard sometimes to get myself into it. And I have jumped from project to project, which I don't mind. I don't actually mind doing that. But when it comes to stopping myself from thinking big picture, I have to kind of I have to pinpoint a spot on the map and just zoom in as close as possible and just ignore everything else. And then I think I'm just gonna go like a spiral from the inside. I'm just gonna start from the middle and just spiral myself outward to the edges and not worry about going chronologically. Because a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have changed since my last draft. And I've done some rewrites, but not full book rewrites, like chapter rewrites and then partial rewrites of some chapters. So it depends on when I look at the certain part that I want to get into. How old is this writing? Is it a recent rewrite or is this an old first or second draft moment? The soul of it's still there. The first draft was definitely the soul of the story I want to keep. But I've got new names for characters. I have to rename characters. I have to rewrite new backstory. I'm really overthinking it. And it's hard because it's the mental gymnastics I put myself through that makes it so that I never get anything done. And I know it's happening as we speak, and it's frustrating when it's hard to get into. So I think if at all possible for this next sprint, I'm going to pick a scene that's between two different characters. So there is conversation happening, but it's between two side characters, and they're just kind of talking about, basically it's a police chief and deputy talking about a potential suspect. And it's just one scene. Possibly I hope, because at this point, if I just go with my gut on what I want to do, I'm just going to keep throwing myself back into where I've been the last 4 or 5 years of just not getting anywhere. I've done plenty of reworking and replotting and re-examining what I really want to say, and not a whole lot of actual drafting, dialogue. So I hope that if I just pick these two side characters that have very limited time, I'll just be able to take the pressure off myself, because it's not main plot, it's main plot adjacent. So there's a little less, it's a good way to dip my toes back in. Yeah, exactly. Some people actually read the very first draft I ever did. And some people liked it, but it's definitely become a new beast since. But yeah. My hope is that I start from the middle and I can like work my way toward the end and then go back to the middle and then kind of work my way backwards to the beginning and just write the beginning as the final part. Like the final part of drafting is reworking the beginning so it's strong enough to support the story I have made. Then my hope is that the next form of editing and rewrite is just making sure all the scenes sequentially make sense. If I have to move some scenes around or put them in a different order, that I can just reorder them and make sure that it flows. Once I'm at that point, I will be comfortable sharing it with beta readers. Because then at least I've made a full, coherent story that has a flow to it. Then I can handle notes, reader notes, edit notes. Because really, a lot of my stuff is way too nascent to be getting real edits. I made that mistake with Sean. Don't get me wrong, I do actually love his advice. The thing is, the story is just way too brand new. It's way too raw for any of these notes to actually be applied. Because it doesn't actually work. Because the story has to develop more. And then those notes may be proven completely moot, or they can be applied and it'll make a lot of sense. The point is, a lot of my stuff is half-baked. That's where I live. But it's time to face it. I literally get like so intimidated by my own work. Like it's not even funny. Like sitting down, this shouldn't be like, it could be just like not even a 1,000-word scene. And I'll be so like, what do I do? What do I do? And it's like, there's no right or wrong, just write something. And it's like, it can't be that easy. I'm like, it is. It's that simple. Just do it. You can tell I'm a little out of practice. I'm not out of practice. I write a lot. I just write a lot of other crap that's not, it doesn't feel as high stakes. This book feels high stakes for me. I guess I care about this one the most. So this is the one that I put on the back burner the most because I don't want to touch it, because I'm like, if I don't make this good, I'm going to be really, really upset. But if I make these other things that I'm always working on not as good, I won't be as upset because they're not high stakes. This story feels high stakes. So, in a nutshell, I'm procrastinating. And that's why I do these fucking streams. So I can hopefully start to make something and just relax. I need to tell myself it's not that high. It's not that big a deal. Like it's not that serious. A master procrastinator. Oh, you're looking at her. She is in the building. All right. Shall I actually write a scene? Actually, I'm going to do one thing before I start this next one. I was looking at a character profile. Since they are side characters that only appear sometimes, I want to be sure, in case I have notes on them, what those notes are. If not, then world's my oyster. Okay. Nope, got nothing on him. Just his name. That's how much effort I put into these side characters. I gave them names. That's it. They just have names. No other character detail, which might be okay. I'll just putz around with it, I guess. Y'all ready? 15 minutes. Can't be that bad. Can't be that long. I'm not gonna finish that thought. I said finish that thought later. No worries. I'm gonna actually big space so that I'm not looking at what I already wrote. About there. Okay. Distraction free. You ready? Set. Go. This might be the last one of the day. That was definitely the right call, jumping into a scene that had nothing, very adjacent to the main plot. It feels a little bit calmer, you know? So, less intimidating. Definitely the right call. Does he have a name? I didn't realize I didn't name this character. I guess he's kind of new. I suppose. This is the monster I feed. It is, indeed. And I only have a minute left, so I think I'm going to just leave a little placeholder. I'm gonna just finish this thought so that I don't lose it. Okay. And that's it. That is a Pomodoro. Okay, that was not so bad. I think I made the right call, that I took a chill approach and I just said, hey, I don't want to jump into the main plot with the main characters, with the main issues going on. I needed to just do a little bit of side characters. Yes, this is a third person omniscient, fairly simple, fairly straightforward. But there are the entire first draft was just from the point of view of my main character. I don't want to actually do that in the book. I want to have a handful of chapters that take place outside their point of view from the side character. Or basically, I want it adds to the horror and a little bit of the tension. I want to build some tension toward the end of the story. Because it was really hard to do that just with the main character. I feel like if I had a lot... My issue was toward the end of my first draft with this book, it was all internal. And I have no doubts that I can work the internal struggle as long as I need to. But the story just really came alive when I'm like, okay, I need to incorporate more outside characters and I need to put a little more outside pressure on the character. So I'm giving a little bit away here. I decided to add a murder scene. There's actually 2 murder scenes. But this one is the big one. And to me, it just felt like having a murder happen in such a small town would put more outside pressure on just events that are happening. And it could all come to this better... The boiling point at the end would be a lot spicier if I had more going on. So I was just tipping into the police interrogation scene with a potential witness to this murder. And that's kind of just building a little back line of, uh-oh, they're coming for you throughout the second half of the book. So, and I think because I didn't try to just jump into the main character and her, like, insane state of mind and her insane issues that felt just really big and really scary, I jumped into like, okay, I don't even know these characters' names, but I know that this is their mission, so fill in the blanks later. I need a young boy's name. I need a boy's name. I'm thinking roughly early 1950s America. I know a lot of men went by nicknames back then, and I already have several characters that go by nicknames. So I'm thinking just maybe a boy's name that was popular during specifically the 50s, 60s, maybe mid 50s. Hector, Fitzgerald. Gerald might work. Walter's good. I picture him as a redhead. I picture him kind of like, imagine the bully from A Christmas Story, but younger. Like, take the 2 bullies from A Christmas Story, Scut Farkus, and the little kid, and like mix them together. Like a little redheaded kid with kind of a mean streak. Unserious answer, Ping. It's a boy's name too. Of course, Ping did steal mine. Now, okay, this character isn't a serious character. He's a side character, but he needs a name and he needs a little bit of personality so that the time that he is in the story, he makes an impact. He's kind of an antagonist because he's a potential witness to a murder that my main character may or may not have committed. Yeah? A potential witness. We don't know if he actually saw anything and what he saw and what it looked like. Gerald, I kind of like Gerald. Jerry. Walter. I don't want to Google names. I've been Googling so many things. Hold on. Who's sick of Gemini? I'm sick of Google Gemini. Let's see. Boy names from 1955. Michael, James, Robert, Richard, Richie. We could do Richie. Thomas. The most popular boy name apparently was Michael. I'm sorry, but Michael, David, James, Robert, no offense to anyone named these names, they're just so basic. That's the thing. That's the thing with these names is, in reality, sometimes people are just very unimaginative, and when it comes to family names, you keep family names running. In books, you need people to have slightly better names. You need to have names that are a little more... They stand out. You need names that stand out a little bit. So I have an M name, a C name, an S name, a B name. What other names do I have? A P name, a K name, and technically a T name. So I guess Gerald or Richard would work. Richie. Maybe Richie works. Richie or Gerald? It comes with its own connotations. Why not crack out fancy name generator? Richie, like Richard? No, but like Richie. Here's the issue with that. Here's the issue with Richie. I like it a lot, but it kind of sounds like it would be a Stephen King character. You know? Like that seems like something Stephen King would name a character. Roughly set in the same time frame as my story. Like, I'm pretty sure he has at least 3 characters named something like Richie. But mine is just this little side character. And I didn't put that much thought into naming these other side characters. I just sort of named them. So this is what we've got. These are some of the names I got, right? We've got Sam, the general store clerk. We've got Chuck. Oh, I have 2 C names. I didn't realize. We got Chuck the butcher. We've got Marilyn. We've got Callie. We've got Kurt with a K. We've got Officer Cross. Deputy Officer Lamone. And then we've got like family, like Mr. and Mrs. And then we've got Bud, B-U-D, Bud. So that's 2 B names and 2 C names. Wait, no. No, just 1 B name. Okay. I freaked out for a second. I was like, oh, no. So, you know what? I'm going to just go with Gerald. I'm going to go with Jerry. I'm going to go with Jerry because it works. Watch Holly! Oh my goodness. Wait, did I just get freaking raided? No. I couldn't possibly have gotten raided. That's impossible. Well, good morning, Watch Holly. Happy Pride Month. Happy early Pride Month. Usually use the one on Scrivener. That's true. That's true. I am open on Scrivener. Is there a name generator? Is that what you're talking about? I feel like Scrivener's got all kinds of bells and whistles that I don't actually use. We were just coming up with a name for a side character that I realized I hadn't named. They're only going to be in like 2 scenes in the whole story, so it's not really that big a deal what they're called. But I kind of wanted something that felt right and felt accurate. It's in the tools section. Take a look at that. Happy Pride. We should... What should we do? What should we do for Pride? Well, since Holly is here, are you live right now? We could raid you. We could raid someone else. LGBT. Could take a look at who else is on. Oh yeah, Cheshire Pope is on. But Cheshire Pope is like always on. And like they've been on for a while. Oh, look at all of this. Everybody's... Oh, I can't figure out anything. These little buttons mean I can collab with them. I thought that meant that they were collabing with someone as we speak. I was like, everyone's collabing today. That's crazy. No, it doesn't look like it. Just Cheshire Pope. Sorry, I don't mean to be that person that's like, hey, thanks for coming in. I'm about to end stream, but I am kind of, I am a nocturnal being. I've been up all night. I sleep during the day most days, and then I work third shift. So I am probably going to end stream very soon. It'd be like me, take 20 minutes to find a target rate. I mean, I got all my writing done that I want. Well, actually, if I'm real, I think I'm just under my word. Guys, if I write 20 more words, I'll be at my word goal for this stream. I'm just under it. What 20 words should I write so that I hit 2,000? Yeah. How many of those 2,000 words are actual plot? Or actual, like, story? Not very much. Not very much at all. Well, we can take our time. We can take our time with it. The heart of Metropolis is fueled by SLVT. Yeah. You know, it's getting a little bit easier. There are days where it's hard once I get, like, into something. Like, I'm actually really appreciative right now that I hope so far I haven't noticed my model glitching out too bad, but I got a light shining in my face and my blue light glasses on to kind of help with, you know, not taking in too much light before I try to go to bed. Usually when this happens, my model's glitching out because it can't find my irises or it can't find my pupils because of the glare. But that's not the case today because I think I cleaned my glasses well enough. Every piece of paper I touch has been through your press. There's a likelihood that, I don't want to say it, but there is a decent likelihood that there may have been something at some point that came to you in the mail or you picked up at a business somewhere that came from my place of work. Because we send stuff all over. Like, I'm actually surprised. We send stuff all over. We do DC, we do California, we do the Midwest, like all over the Midwest. There is a likelihood. I don't know how high it is. We make a lot of junk mail, I'll tell you that. And people tend to get junk mail a lot, so there is a likelihood. Specifically for terrible novelists in Wisconsin during campaign season last year, definitely. If you got some sort of mail if you got any sort of campaign mail in the past couple election cycles, local, presidential, we most likely have had our hands on it. So yes, not every piece of paper you touch, but a few. I've had to fold my own mail before. Not that, I don't think it's likely that I may have folded my own mail, but I don't know for certain. It isn't until it comes into my mailbox that I look at it and I go, this looks familiar. I must have touched this at some point. I don't know if I was the one who folded it. That's what I do all night. I get paid well to do it. Except I hate it. I hate that whole job. It shouldn't be as stressful as it is. You'd think it would not be stressful. I work with a lot of people that go out of their way to make things stressful. And that's what I don't like. I don't like people who can't just be chill. They have to create drama. Anyway, I would so much rather be a full-time streamer and VTuber so I could get better at this little gig. Well, they took away your music. They did. All because some schmuck on first shift was not paying attention when he was listening to music, and then they decided collective punishment was was a justifiable and effective form of discipline. Yeah. Sometimes I write while I'm at that job. Don't tell them I said that, though. Everybody there can mind their business. I get away with it sometimes, too. Other times, it's not... Okay, this is how it works, is I get away with it because I know when it's warranted, I know how to kind of space it out so that nobody can say anything to me. And that's on the internet as a confession. I don't particularly care, because if you had my job, you'd be trying to find anything else to do to multitask at that job, because you can only be so mentally invested at watching paper go in and out of a machine all night, folded just so. You pay attention to that for maybe a collective of 20 to 30 minutes for every 8-hour shift. The rest of the day, everything's just running the way it runs. For hours, you're on your feet the whole time. Not too many opportunities to sit down. A podcast in your ear makes it a little more bearable. That's all I'm saying. And you see the tags. You know me. I'm unmedicated. I am a neurodivergent, unmedicated individual with a sleep disorder. If I can have just a little bit of dopamine, I'll eat it up. Anyway, I'm not even looking. Let's do the writing and reading category. Let's see who's on. Moonlight Goblins being naughty. A readathon in French. A lot of ooh. Are all the European writers on this morning? I guess is probably... Well, looks like Sailor Faye speaks English. I love writing English 2 steps from hell, tired. Building spaces, space sheep at a time. Interesting. Though I would like to find the LGBT community. Oh look, there we are. Hee hee. Hey. Angel in Darkness. They're a game of tomes. Participant. Sunday Words. Co-working Pomodoro. That's kind of in the vein of what we were doing. Another witch. We've got Silver the Diamond Witch. 18 plus. I figure that's most of us here. Unbirthday, Twisted Tale. Oop. Yeah, we know. We did a Pomodoro. We're good. I'm so glad I hear my timer now. If anybody knows that deep cut about me. You need a timer that works. You need a timer. You know what? Let's just try Pride Month. See what comes up. We got Kina Dawnstar playing Dead by Daylight. So, favorite turkey sandwich? Yeah, that was funny. You were so in the zone, you kept sprinting for 20 minutes. In my defense, it was a glitch that had never happened before, and it just happened to embarrassingly be caught live and showcased my terrible estimation of how long I think my time, what's the word, perception, just how out of whack that is. Thinking, oh yeah, that was 15 minutes. It was an extra I was like writing for like 40 minutes thinking it was 15. That was the embarrassing part. It was the fact that I let it go for so long. Thinking, but like it went on so long before I thought to myself, why hasn't this alarm gone off yet? It's easily been 15 minutes. And then it wasn't until someone gifted a sub or did something to cause the notification sound to like glitch again, and then I heard it. People were calling me on Discord and everything, and the Discord wasn't like, I wasn't getting notifications on Discord because like it did the streaming thing where it like mutes everything, and I was like, what in the fuck just happened? And it was all caught live. And I'm pretty sure that stream is still in my VOD somewhere, so enjoy that. Super Saturday Ultron. These are videos. No. Okay. Well, there's a handful. There's a lot of Dead by Daylight. I think they like the Dead by Daylight in the community. Well, I want to raid someone. Even if it's just like a couple of us. I think it's worth it. I'll end stream, but oh yeah, sorry. Favorite turkey sandwich? Shadow Legends. That's true. Let's check out is Shadow Legends on? Is that a person I know? Oh, I didn't mean to click on that. They're offline. Or you mean Raid Shadow Legends? I'll leave it up to you what you guys want to go for. If you want to stick with the productivity stuff. Just trying to think of a little special for my work menu. It's turkey themed with other ingredients. Can I be real? I don't actually have turkey sandwiches all that often, so I don't think I have a favorite. No, you could just get one piece of turkey and one piece of bread. I would say I like lean turkey with... That's not bland, it's just not something I partake in most of the year. It's mostly a seasonal thing. It's not my preferred poultry. Doesn't mean... I kind of like lean turkey, maybe a little bit of... Is it boring to just say like a BLT but with turkey? On like... Maybe a... Why can't I think of the right word for the bread? I guess you can't pick... Oh, well, there you go. There's my input. Yeah. Go for it. Take it. It's free. Like, I'm just thinking like a BLT with like just a little bit of lean turkey. Or maybe like a little like almost ground up turkey, like how they do Philly cheesesteak. Like a Philly cheesesteak had sex with a BLT and then add a little turkey in there. Like that vibe. I think I would like to eat that. Yeah. Cross a BLT with turkey with a Philly cheesesteak. Kinda, sorta. I'm gonna leave the way that looks in your mind up to your imagination, and then you run with that. I know, not the steak. I mean like the vibe. A Philly cheesesteak vibe with the flavors of a BLT. adding the turkey in there. Yeah. No, that's like 3 different meats. That's bacon, steak, and turkey. That's a lot. Add pineapple slices? Ooh. I don't know about that. Listen, I do love me some pineapple, but even I have my limits on what you put pineapple with. Maybe like just a little bit on the side. A little pineapple slice on the side for the summer. I would imagine that a pineapple would go better with a BLT. Or I don't know. Maybe I'm showing my bland palate here. I don't know. I'm from the Midwest, guys. And maybe below. You know what? Why not? Are we getting all this? Are we getting all this for the menu? For the lovely retirement home? But it's just, you know, we only have so much. We only have so many options. And we do tend to get creative with those options, but really we should just widen our palette a little bit. So maybe the pineapple slices aren't so far off. We're just like, that's outside of our food vocabulary at this point. We're like, what? You can do that? Yes, absolutely. I was working on a ham and pineapple sandwich called the Lilo and Stitch. Now that's good. That's good. I like that. No, that's good. That would work. If it works in Hawaii, it works. I say if it's a staple somewhere else in the world, it works. Whether you like the taste of it or not, it works. Right? Ham and pineapple makes total sense. Mostly because that's like a Hawaiian pizza. It's a Hawaiian pizza sandwich. So it would logically work. And I like it. Lilo and Stitch. That's cute. Do any of the people in the nursing home get that reference? Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm not trying to knock you for like a lack of creativity. I think work with what works. The templates are there. Just work with it. The staff are like nurses. That's true. That's true. Well, hey, someone gets something out of it, out of the name. You name them stuff. And somebody gets the reference. All right. It's nearly 10 a.m. I've been streaming for... Oh, it feels like it was longer than that. Nearly 3 hours? Did I really? No. I started at Oh, yeah. I started at 7. Never mind. Oh, the jokes when I took this job for So You Want Me? The one guy just make a lunch for a bunch of hot nurses. Sean said I was the star of my own sitcom. You know... I kind of agree. We need good sitcoms again. We need the sitcom about the Midwestern author who works the lunch for the hot nurses. But at the same time, I tell you, don't sell your life story away. It's up to you what you want to do with that. Guess I could put on the YouTube video. The best irredeemable villain. Puss in Boots. Oh, yeah, I guess so. I suppose so. Like, I'm the bartender. They call me their coffee shakes. Hot nurse lunch. Hot nurse lunch. That's a good one. That's a good title. Again, it's kind of like, did the beginning ideas for, Cheers, like, begin with just the bartender's life story, and then it sort of weaved its way into the patrons over time. You have the beginnings of something here. I like hot nurse lunch. That's canon. That's canon now. When people ask me what's Terrible Novelist working on, it's like, well, actually Terrible Novelist is in a sitcom. I think you've heard of it. It's called Hot Nurse Lunch. I might be dumb and just join Cheshire Cat. Not Cheshire Cat. The Cheshire Cat. The Cheshire Pope. Because they got the pride. Co-work, write, edit, scream. They've been going for almost 4 hours. I don't know when they stop. Knowing me, we'll raid and then they'll leave. Because that's how that goes. But they're very chill. They got very great chill vibes. We can just raid them just to say Happy Pride Month. Love that. Yeah. Do what you gotta do. I'll admit, I still have a ton of dishes sitting around. They had gotten so bad, I had organized them by type of dish and plate, utensil, because I just got overwhelmed with it all. And there's still a lot of it sitting on my table to be done. But I think I'd rather go to bed a little early, get up a little earlier than I typically would on a Sunday, and just do some before I go to work. Really? Oh, it was a layoff? Oh no. Okay, well, the author thing's great. The losing, the laid off, the supply chain, that's not good. That's not good. Yeah, so we'll raid Cheshire Pope and wish them happy Pride and good luck. Do what we can. Yeah. I mean, they tend to be pretty invested. They get pretty invested in their sprints as well, so it's likely, well, they're in the chat sometimes, right? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okie doke. I think that's what we'll do. Thank you so much for coming by, saying hi, having a laugh, having a little existential crisis with me. Again, I don't really know when I'll be live again, but hopefully it won't be forever. I'm hopeful that the next couple weeks will start to look good. Maybe even something next week, or technically this coming week. Yeah, it's good to see you again. Now I'm gonna actually go to sleep. Yeah, finally. Oh my gosh. She's always like, we need to have a longer session. I'm like, girl, we're already here for 4 hours. Is that not long enough? Can we get the ball rolling? It's always so late at night, though. I think that's the issue. I felt bad. I felt bad for Zeno falling asleep. I was like, oh, poor Zeno. I was like, are you going? Oh, sorry, I dozed off. I was like, oh, we've been here for a long time. Yeah, sometimes I'm just a little bit like, how do we edge this, how do we get this story rolling? How do we get it how do we get this plot really going? And then every time I think we're kind of pushing to move forward, she like sets us back like 5 steps. I'm like, girl, can you help us just get to the end? Alrighty, well, I just realized both these videos are playing at the same time. That must have sounded crazy. Have a good day. Have a good Sunday. Happy Pride Month once again to the lovely LGBTQIA plus community. You are loved, you are cherished, you are important, and we are better off having you here. So please don't be afraid to keep reaching out, and we will keep doing our best to be the best support and allies we can. Okay. I shall see you soon. Bye-bye.